855-839-1210 on X at Rich Zeoli. It's great to welcome two guys. They're killing it, these guys. They're blowing up social media every single day. Frank Scales, Ian McGinnis. Did I get that right? You're Frank and you're Ian. I nailed it. Look at that. Yeah. Boom. Guys, how are you? Serge Philly, what's going on?
Awesome. Thank you for having us.
I'm so excited you guys came in studio today. I never come in studio, so I literally just came in for the two of you, just so you know.
Well, we appreciate it. We appreciate it. We're very flattered.
Don't do this again, because I really hate coming into this city. It's nuts. I was talking about Krasner this morning on Fox and Friends First and what a disgrace he is.
Oh, yeah.
And I know you both have confronted him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's called you Nazis and fascists and everything else,
under the
right?
sun. Everything under the sun. Even un-American.
Un-American.
He's a liar, and everybody can see it now. He lied in that press conference, and every day it's something new. People are getting shot. People are getting killed because of him, and that's the most important part. Is because of him. It doesn't have to happen. So the DA's office. There's real life consequences to somebody like Krasner being in charge. He wants to go out and blame the system. Well, guess what? He's obstructing the system. He's an obstructionist. He's obstructing the administration of justice. He's the problem.
Mm-hmm. And, he
actually... push that mic a little bit closer to you. I think that might be better.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. There's an arm there. There you go.
Cool. So, yeah, he even shifts blame from everybody except himself. He shifts blame to the municipal court. He shifts blame on Trump. Just about everybody except Larry Krasner himself. He stated that he sought the highest bail for Keon King before this tragic event. Earlier this year, Keon King was held on previous kidnapping charges. Those charges got dropped because the victim didn't show up to court. That's what Larry Krasner said. But numerous law enforcement professionals, legal professionals, they stated that this is highly unusual for a violent felony case to be dropped simply because the victim didn't show up. This happens all the time. Victims don't show up. They're scared. They're traumatized, whatever it may be.
Right. If I were a witness, I wouldn't want to show up because I know the guy's going to be back on the street.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had cops tell me this all the time. In the old days, they would tell the police if there was like drug dealers in the neighborhood or something, but they know they're going to be back on the street the next day. And somebody's going to know there's a snitch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And snitches get stitches, so they don't want to mess with it. I mean, again, it's part of the revolving door in this city. The fact that this woman is dead, it's heartbreaking because it was entirely preventable.
Yeah, 100% preventable. And this, again, I just want to reiterate, this guy was held on violent felony charges earlier this year.
And what was the other charge? It was like
strangulation.
Strangulation. Thank you.
These charges aren't jokes, you know what I'm saying? And not that any charge is a joke, but these are violent felony offenses. And the fact is, this man could have been in jail. This animal could have been in jail for a very long time on these charges, and he wasn't. And Kata Scott is dead.
When you guys confront him, and he's such a jackass to you, and he doesn't let you go into his town hall events, and he tries to, he has you kicked out, and I saw you try to go to a church, and they wouldn't let you go in there, right? They wouldn't let you in.
Mm-hmm. Frank, talk about that some.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Church, we wanted to go and hear him out, so we went in, and he just started calling Trump, a Nazi. Trump hates women, this and that. So we stood up. We said, stop saying that. This is why, and this was right after the assassination of Charlie Kirk. We said, this is why this type of political violence happens. You need to stop with the rhetoric. He didn't take that well. The next town hall we went to, he wouldn't even let us in. And then we confronted him in the park about not allowing us in the town halls. And, he calls us Nazis, this and that. And he said, interestingly, Donald Trump hates women. Donald Trump wants to take away the vote of women. Well, guess what? Kata Scott was a young woman, had her whole life in front of her, and she's dead because of Larry Krasner's policy. So who actually hates women? Who actually is failing the women of Philadelphia? I think it's Larry Krasner.
I think you're right. I said today, he spends most of his time doing two things. Either prosecuting cops or lecturing about Donald Trump.
Absolutely.
When his job is to go after criminals, but he loves to grandstand. And, they asked me the question today, if Trump were to try to do a federal law enforcement surge in Philadelphia, I said, well, I think every city and every governor would welcome the help. They should welcome the help.
Absolutely.
But, of course, he would grandstand. He and his Soros buddies would all grandstand about that, right?
He's a very predictable guy. we all know Larry's backed by Soros. He's got these special interests. Pulling,
and just
pulling
not
his
to interrupt
strings.
you, Ian, but just to make that point, though, I mean, the Inquirer itself wrote a story about how Soros is funding Larry Krasner. Like, this isn't some vast right-wing conspiracy here. I mean, they wrote about that.
Absolutely.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
And it's not just Larry Krasner. You take away from the microscope for a minute. Look across the nation. All of these progressive DAs bankrolled by Larry Krasner. You had the previous DA of San Francisco, Chezier Boudin or something. I can't pronounce his name.
Yeah. Chef Boyardee.
Yeah, that guy.
Actually, Chef Boyardee was a respectable man. I don't want to compare the two.
No hate to Chef Boyardee, but these progressive DAs across the country, they've either been brought up on ethical violations, they've been criminally indicted, or they've been voted out. And hopefully Larry Krasner will be next.
Frank, I know people listening right now who don't live in Philly go, "Oh, it's a Philly problem," but I think Krasner is the national face of this for the whole country. I really do. I think that's what it's become. When you think of woke Soros-funded prosecutor, there's three people that come to my mind. Alvin Bragg in New York City, although he's been a little quiet lately, probably because he knows that Mandami's going to get elected, and the two of them will be like Wonder Twin Powers activate form of Is that reference totally lost on you guys?
I could totally conceptualize what you're saying. These two guys are going to.
But from the old Justice League when I was a kid.
I won't lie. Yeah, that might
I'm
be
dating myself big time, aren't I? That's fine. That's okay. That's why I purposely reintroduced my kids to it so that it would not be lost to future generations. But and then you got that jackass in Chicago. What's his name? The prosecutor out there.
Oh, yeah, the name's escaping me right now, but
he's joined with the mayor, and the mayor's also
Brandon Johnson. He's a disaster.
And then Krasner. I think they are the faces of this for America.
Absolutely,
yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the ways that we can stop it is, number one, we have an election on November 4th. He's got to go. We got to send him packing, send him back to St. Louis. But another thing we can do
is that where he's from, St. Louis?
Yeah, he went to. Did he go to? Was he born there, or did he go to school there?
No, he was born in St. Louis. He says, he was raised in a Philadelphia suburb, went to Conestoga High School. But as far as I'm concerned, Larry ain't from Philly. He's from St. Louis.
There you go.
And number two, we can send a National Guard into Philadelphia and clean up this crime as best as we can, because we have, women dying. Who is the enemy? Is it Trump or is it Krasner? Because quite frankly, if we had a National Guard deployment and if we got these criminals off the street, then Kata Scott would still be alive. She would still be alive.
Yeah.
So we should send in the National Guard and we should clean it up. And Serge Philly actually has a petition to do just that. We almost have 1,000 signatures of Philadelphians saying they want a National Guard deployment. And really, you have Governor Shapiro, you have Mayor Sherrill, they're grandstanding, and Larry Krasner, they're all grandstanding, but the people of Philadelphia need to stand up and say, no, we want common sense. So that's what we're trying to do. So if anybody wants to sign a petition, please go ahead. It's in the link in our bio on Instagram at Serge Philly.
I give Mayor Parker credit for appointing a great police commissioner, Kevin Bethel. The cops love him.
Yep.
He's a cop's cop, and he's fighting crime, and he's doing his best, but it will never get better as long as Krasner's there.
Yes.
And this is why I don't know why Parker doesn't speak out against Krasner. I don't know why Shapiro doesn't speak out against them. You know why? Because they're all afraid of their radical lunatic freaking base. That's why.
Exactly.
Yep.
Right?
Sherrill Parker is a dino. She's a Democrat in name only.
Yeah.
She wants to be a Republican.
Yep.
I can't say the same for Josh Shapiro in the governor's mansion.
He's a Pino, president in name only. That's what he wants to be. And everything is focused on that.
Yep, that's a totally accurate description.
But he knows when he runs for president, if he goes to South Carolina and he goes to New Hampshire, even if he tries to play this center moderate game, he still has to try to win over those lunatics.
Yeah,
right?
He's concerned about Pennsylvania Avenue, not Pennsylvania. And I stole that from Stacey Garrity. She's running for governor in 2026. We need to flip this state red.
Well, she stole that from me. I'm only kidding. But that's a great line, though. Tell us about Serge Philly and what it's all about.
So Serge Philly is really focused on changing the narrative in Philadelphia and setting the agenda. We want to give the people, the forgotten people of Philadelphia who feel like they don't have a voice in the government, in the municipal government. We want to give them a voice. We want to tell them that there is a different way to go about things. We hear about, different things failing, like SEPTA, the school district. And the response is always, well, we need to give them more money. We need to raise taxes. Oh, crime is high. Well, we're a city. Crime is always going to be high. We don't think that's true. What we think is we need Republican leaders who will get back to the basics. One, being law and order. Get the criminals off the street. Criminalize retail theft again. And what happens when you do that? you allow businesses to come in. And what do them businesses do? They employ people. And then you speed that process up if you lower taxes. So Serge Philly is about spreading the conservative movement and getting the Republican message out there in Philadelphia.
So I said this morning, I think that the race in New Jersey for governor, Jack Ciattarelli, I think as awful as this tragedy is in Philadelphia, it is going to remind South Jersey voters of what's at stake. Tomorrow, Jack's doing an event with a bunch of sheriffs in Monmouth County, led by Sean Golden, who's the sheriff out there, is a terrific guy. You know, his running mate that he picked is the sheriff of Morris County, New Jersey, up in North Jersey. Jack is focused on law and order. Mikey Sherrill voted against the Lake and Riley Act. I know a lot of people who, like I was talking to Judge Dugan earlier, and his grandkids where they're playing soccer, bullets literally flying by them, and they had a duck. There are people in Jersey towns, not far from here, who cars are stolen on a nightly basis. Mm-hmm. Crime is an actual issue, and the Democrat Party has become the party of the criminal. They refuse to take a stand against crime. They refuse to stand with cops. They're all about this cashless bail nonsense and all their other the ridiculousness. And I mean, Krasner hates police. Like, let's just be honest and call it what it is. He hates cops. He thinks they're the problem.
Well, who wants to be a cop in Philly when you have Krasner, the DA, ready to prosecute them for any little thing?
Yeah.
He essentially stripped them of every tool they use to get criminals off the street. And now if a cop actually does something and confronts a criminal and, something bad happens, the cop is going to be at fault.
Right.
So, number one, nobody wants to be a cop. And that's why we have a 1,500 officer shortage in Philadelphia. And number two, if you are a cop, you're worried about getting back home to your family, and who can blame them? You're not going to go confront a criminal. Why would you? The criminal's not going to get put in prison, and you run the risk of being seriously hurt or prosecuted by the DA. And this is, it's enigmatic of the Democratic Party as a whole everywhere. The Democratic Party is the party of the criminal. It is the party of giving people who had second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth chances another chance. You can go back to Keon King. We were both in school with Keon King, the alleged killer of Kata Scott. He was a bad guy even back then. Before class, he was in the alleyway with, the homeless fiends. When he got in class, he would spit on the ground. And, he eventually got kicked out of our school for,
I didn't realize you guys went to school with him.
Yes, yes. He was a bad guy.
Yeah. And he actually got kicked out of Roman for bringing in a knife and threatening school personnel. So, it's not like this was a total surprise that Keon King was going to turn out as some, criminal or
this
whatever
isn't
it
the
is.
guy like you're like, oh my God, I know.
Like
saw this
he's
coming,
no model
right?
citizen.
Yeah.
I'll say that. And, it's just really tragic and sad to see the dereliction of duty by our leaders. They totally failed Kata Scott. They failed Kata Scott's family. Like I said, this animal Keon King could have been straightened out from the beginning. He wasn't. And now it got to this point, and hopefully justice will be served.
So, Frank and Ian, you guys go out there, the No Kings rally.
Oh, yeah.
You had some fun with that. Tell me about what you do with your operation in terms of social media.
So we do videos about different things happening in Philadelphia and how the Republican, party and how Republican ideas can actually solve the problems. Lately, it's been crime. Crime has been a main focus because you see people getting shot every day. And as we did videos about it, it just kept getting worse and worse. And what we've realized is people are sick and tired of people like Larry Krasner. But we also go out and we do interviews. We want people to be able to speak freely and, put their point of view out there. So that's what we did on No King's Day. We went out with the intention of asking questions. Why are you here? What do you believe? Mm-hmm. And why do you think that's true? And we did that a couple of times, and we weren't even being picky with the content that we posted. I swear, we posted almost every video we got, and they were all train wrecks. And what we learned is the average no-kinger is totally clueless about what they believe. They don't believe anything, and they're probably paid actors.
Yep. and it's totally, it's
bad actors,
yeah,
too.
yeah, absolutely.
Not even good ones.
And it's almost like a live action comedy, sketch comedy. You go and it's like you got all these massive, colorful signs and balloons, and you got people waving this flag, this rainbow flag, dressed in a Lady Liberty costume. These people, we do this once a year. It's called New Year's Day. We get dressed up in costumes and we walk down Broad Street. The only problem is the mummers do it better than the No Kingers.
Way better.
Let's play a couple clips here. Cut 24. Serge Philly interviewing people at the No Kings protest in Philadelphia. So this video has nearly 3 million views on TikTok already. Maybe it's even higher.
Yeah, it's massive.
It's great job, guys. I mean,
Thank you so much,
this is
Rich.
huge.
Yeah.
All right, so cut 24.
What brings you out today?
No King's Day.
And why specifically are you out supporting No King's Day?
I think protest is important.
Why are you protesting?
How much time do you have?
Couple minutes. And what's the main reason you're out here protesting President Trump?
I don't agree with a lot of the decisions that are being made.
Is there any decision in particular you disagree with?
Okay, so I would start with, well, I don't even think it's appropriate for me to have this interview.
Why not?
What sorry, it was starting to rub off of me a little bit, but yeah, it's totally like you can't even you can't make it up. You know what? Even if Frank said, we're not even being picky with this stuff. This is just two guys in a phone going out to the No Kings protest and recording the surroundings, and it was really just like a freak show out there.
Here's somebody else now. This is somebody who misquotes the Statue of Liberty while defending illegal immigration.
Yeah.
How did you find this person?
We walked up, nice costume, beautiful costume. Only if their costumes were as good as their arguments, but they're not. Not even close. They don't actually
Did they
have
all go to Spirit Halloween before this, is what I want to know. Did they get like a group discount or something?
Yeah, I have no idea. You look at all the signs, and even the signs, you could look at the signs in the Philadelphia No Kings protest, and you could go and look at footage from the Chicago No Kings protest, and it looks like they have the same signs.
I heard Soros has a Halloween store.
Soros Halloween.
Soros Halloween. All right, cut 25. Oh, we're loading it up. Hang on. 2-5.
What has President Trump done to make him a monarch?
He started to take control and do illegal things and that are not within his power. So that's pretty much what makes a person a monarch. They take complete control even though they shouldn't have it.
What illegal things has he done?
Come here. What illegal things? Everything that he has done except for get elected. Every single thing since he's gotten into office.
Everything.
So deporting illegal immigrants, is that illegal?
Everything.
Deporting illegal immigrants, if they're here peacefully, yes.
If they're illegally here, though, if they came illegally?
If they came here illegally, I believe we're a country that stands for Lady Liberty. It said, give me your tired, your... give me everybody you can possibly bring into the United States, and it doesn't say ship them back out. It says welcome.
Give me everybody.
Awesome. Any other issues?
Could you just pause it? Could you imagine if that's what the sign said?
Yeah.
Give me everybody.
I didn't know Lady Liberty stood for zero borders now. That's absolutely an baseless claim. I have no idea where she got that from. Probably from CNN.
Isn't it also a little bit of the Western arrogance the left always accuses of us with colonialism? If the Statue of Liberty was like, give me everybody. I want everybody. I'm taking you all. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of...
Yeah, it's insane.
And they'll be like, oh, well, the Statue of Liberty was actually a gift from a foreign country. We should be accepting of all these immigrants. Well, they're illegal. They're criminals.
Yeah. They're not coming like my grandpa did through Ellis Island.
Exactly.
He was a boy from Italy.
100%. And he probably came and he worked his tail off and, he established a life. You know what I'm saying? These people, they come here. They don't want to assimilate to our culture, our American heritage. And, what we're getting is, you see in Dearborn, Michigan, it's absolutely insane what's going on. And, you know,
Give me everybody.
Yeah, give me everybody you could possibly bring. I mean, Joe Biden took that advice to heart.
The more mentally ill, the more crimes they committed in their country. Bring them. We want them.
Yeah, the crazier and deadlier. We want them too.
Yeah.
Is that clip keep going?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does.
Right,
She actually walks away.
It.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That you really disagree with Trump on?
No, because you're just baiting me. Have a nice day.
I was just asking.
Yeah, it was really just a simple question.
Isn't the purpose of an interview always to bait somebody into giving you an answer? I mean, isn't that the point?
Yeah. Well,
Like I'm asking a question, I'm baiting you to give me an answer.
Yeah.
That's sort of the point of an interview.
I don't know. I think she was just upset that, you know, we didn't come with a monarch sign and a butterfly costume. Like
yeah.
Frank Scales and Ian McGinnis are with me. Serge Philly. All right, this one now. So is this a different lady dressed as the Statue of Liberty, or is this the same one?
There was only one clip of the Lady Liberty lady.
Okay, so maybe,
this is a different one.
The first one wasn't a Statue of Liberty. This one is.
Okay, this one is. All right, cut 26.
Yes.
Brings you out here.
Rising fascism, lack of health care, billions being poured into ICE without any accountability. 175 U.S. citizens have been arrested so far. And that's all I got for you. There's much more.
Can I ask you one more question? What is fascism?
Well, if you look historically, when a government no longer follows the will of the people, that is a large part of fascism. I would direct you to some of the really good literature on the topic.
Can you define it? Trump won the popular vote. Lady lunacy right there.
Could you have popped that costume? Was it an inflatable Statue of Liberty, or was she just dressed?
I think it already deflated.
Oh, did
I
it?
think it was supposed to be inflated, but it wasn't. You know, I think our questions deflated her.
We've seen a bunch of inflatable costumes out there, even including a lobster. That was, you know,
lobster.
Yeah, that was interesting to say the least. But yeah, these people, like Frank said, if only their arguments were as good as their costumes.
All right, cut 27 here now. So Trump has not made peace with anybody.
Yeah, that was a rich one.
Didn't we just get the hostages out of Gaza?
Yeah,
Didn't that just happen?
That was mind blowing for him to say that.
Well, according to him, they've been fighting for millions of years already, and they're going to continue to fight for millions of years. I guess
millions of years.
Every news report is wrong.
Yeah,
trillions.
Yeah. Cut 27.
What is the main reason you're out here today? What do you say?
I feel like the current Trump administration that we are paying taxes for, that our taxes are not going in the direction that our taxes should be used for, such as health care, home care for elderly people, other such things as like helpful ideas that should be used. Our taxpayer dollars should not be used for creating wars or
And then Trump, what about the wars that Trump has stopped?
Which one was that?
Well, he stopped the war in Palestine, right?
No, he did not. That has been going on for millions of years and multiple entities have been involved. It's just the last thing. You can't just come in. What's it called? Cherry picking? It's called in a US game when you steal the goal, but the whole team made it, but you just grabbed it and shoved it in the thing. Trump did not at all make any peace deals with anyone. All Trump has done is make money for himself, his family, and his grift.
That sounds like the person who didn't read the book when they have to stand up and give you know what I mean, at the book report.
I don't think that guy's from Philadelphia either. I don't know where he.
You don't think it's a South Philly accent?
I think that's a little 1,000 miles away across the pond a little bit. Maybe UK, maybe South Africa.
I thought that was Delco when I first heard it. But
it's not too far off. But that guy, I don't know. I wouldn't. If I was a betting man, I wouldn't put money on him being a Philadelphian.
Yeah, he's not wrong, though. They were fighting for millions of years. They were fighting the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Oh,
too,
yeah.
at one point. They were.
Yeah.
And cave clans. And now this guy has his, what was this now? His hat gets snatched by a crazy protester. Wait, whose hat got snatched?
Okay, so it was a 16-year-old guy. We actually walked up on him. He was wearing a MAGA hat. and he had, a T-shirt on, a Trump T-shirt on.
He was decked out. That was risky business coming to the No Kings like that.
Yeah, right?
And a 16-year-old guy coming with his MAGA hat and simply going up and asking people questions. If he's out there listening, he has a lot of courage.
Yep.
So we give him props. But we actually just walked up right after we did the interview with the lady who smacked his hat off. And we didn't know that he had that experience. So it was like a crazy coincidence that we were able to hopefully shine some light on the type of people that are at the No Kings rally. But
it's so funny because somebody sent me that video, and I didn't realize you guys were behind all this. And like people were sending me your video. That's how much you guys are reaching people right now.
Yeah, it's a
which is
blessing
huge.
for sure. It is definitely a blessing, but it's not really of any of our own doing. They're really doing it for us. They're the biggest free advertising for, republicanism, conservatism, is the left. And, when you go out and you get on the ground, that man on the street content, it's real, it's gritty, it's unfiltered, and you see what it actually is. It's not doctored up by CNN or MSNBC.
MS Now, please. MS Now DNC. You got to add the now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But they totally doctor, they sterilize every narrative to fit their politically sanctioned viewpoints. But when you get that man on the street content, it really just, you can't explain it. It just speaks for itself.
All right, cut 28.
we are with the guy who got his hat flipped off by the protester.
Step back.
No, you're trying to antagonize
I'm not
people.
antagonizing. I'm asking.
You are.
You're antagonizing.
I'm
you're
allowed to
encouraging.
ask. No, I'm not.
You're encouraging the death of. Whoa!
Do you have anything to say about that encounter?
I hope she doesn't mean what she said on her sign.
Why can't anybody seem to actually kill the president?
Amazing.
It was a very patriotic way to encounter someone you disagree with, and if that's the way she treats people she disagrees with, then that should be a real issue in our country, is that we have a lot of people like that who result to violence and being hostile.
What would you say to her right now if she watches this video?
Learn how to interact with people in a different way, in a more constructive way, the way that you guys are doing it, and learn how to interact like this, where you guys are neutral and you guys are open to hearing other people's opinions and thoughts.
We're streaming all these videos on YouTube so everybody can watch them. But that kid is what a bright kid.
Oh yeah,
right.
Mm-hmm. Brave kid too. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if you have video, but he was in a MAGA hat. He was in a Trump shirt. He was decked out, and we're as pretty. We're for Trump as far as you can get. But even we didn't come with the MAGA hat because we knew that if we would have came up to one of these liberals and tried to interview them, we wouldn't have got anything done. So, I mean, that's really also emblematic of what we're dealing with, is people who don't want to have discourse or debate with people they disagree with. They actually would rather just resort to violence, like seen in that video.
Yeah, they're very illiberal, actually, because they don't want freedom of speech, and they don't want an exchange of ideas. I mean, these are the people running around demanding hate speech laws in America, right?
They're radical leftists, and it's ironic that they're calling us fascists because they resemble fascism more than any MAGA Republican I've heard speak.
Oh, I mean, if they had their way, they would shut this show down. YouTube would be behind bars for something they'd find a crime for. They hate the idea that you're able to go out there. Look, Charlie Kirk died because they hated the fact that he was actually confronting people on the stupidity of their ideas and shining a light on that. And they could not stand that because their ideas can't hold up to the scrutiny of their emotional.
It's purely emotional.
Well, that's what it is, right? I mean, exactly right, Ian. It's purely emotional. It's not rational. It's not logical.
Yeah.
None of their solutions, actually, they don't even have any solutions.
They're just angry people, which a lot of them have mental health issues, or they're just plain out actors. Yeah. And we see both of them, we have actors and we have people who are mentally ill and angry. They're angry at the world, and they're just, George Soros and the Soros Foundation are essentially having these protests and giving them a way to act out that anger. But they have no solutions. They have no explanations. They don't know what they believe. And you don't see that with MAGA. People in the MAGA movement know what they believe. They stand for something, and that's gone on the left. And you have a bunch of Democrats in higher office that actually have to cater to these people. And it's a real threat to our country and our republic.
Mm-hmm.
You guys got a few minutes to stick around?
Absolutely,
I
Rich.
had a couple more cuts I want to go through with you, too. I want to talk about Kenny Loggins is not happy.
Oh, no. Yeah, I heard about that.
Danger zone
Yeah.
was used, and he's not happy about that. I sang it yesterday, so we can't be mad at me. But, all right, we'll take a very quick break here as we continue along. Here we got Frank Scales and Ian McGinnis, Serge Philly in studio with me live today right now here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. I do want to tell you about Bob's Little Sports Shop, though. I love these guys. I love how they stand for freedom and liberty. And for 60 years they've been in business in New Jersey, of all places. So that tells you something right there. They're doing something right. And Bob's not only has the absolute best selection of firearms, they will also help you become a safe, responsible firearms owner. And that's what I love about Bob's. All Bob's instructors are certified NRA and range safety officers. Bob's also offers renewal certifications. Always check to make sure your license is current. Now, ladies, listen up, because they've got a great event coming up. Their next ladies-only shooting event, October 25th. Bring your moms, daughters, sisters, girlfriends to the event. It's perfect for beginners or experienced shooters who are looking for guidance. Bob's ladies-only events are focused on women, and they're taught by women. So register now for this event. Learn how to protect yourself by the professionals. No alcohol or drugs permitted, so, go to brunch or something like that. No firearms ID card or prior experience is required to attend the event, but you do have to sign up, so go to bobslittle.sportshop.com. Again, that is coming up on October 25th, so right around the corner, mark your calendar and sign up today. bobslittle.sportshop.com, right on Delsey Drive in Glassboro. They stand for freedom. They stand for liberty. This ad sponsored by Bob's Little Sports Shop.
It's the 5 o'clock happy hour on the Rich Zeoli Show. Brought to you by the Oceanfront Grand Hotel of Cape May, New Jersey. A premier full-service resort and conference center. GrandHotelCapeMay.com.
Clouds overnight with a low of 53. Tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny conditions, a high 65, and it steadily gets cooler as we head toward the weekend.
Oh, that's
mostly sunny Thursday, high 62, mostly sunny Friday, 61, mostly sunny Saturday, and a few clouds by Sunday.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Now that the summer wind has come and gone, come fly with me to the Philly Pops for Luck Be a Lady, the music of Frank Sinatra and Tony Bennett. Hi, I'm Eddie Bruce. Join me and fellow vocalist Kelly LeVeque alongside the incredible musicians of the Philly Pops as we celebrate two of the greatest voices of all time. Don't miss this incredible performance, an unforgettable night of swinging standards, classic hits, and rich arrangements. Tickets are going fast. Visit phillypops.org today.
There's a reason that potato chips don't come in a clear bag.
There's only 8 chips in this bag.
That's why. It's only about 2/3 full. The rest is air. It's a lot like opening up your 401k at retirement. You get about 2/3 of it, and the rest goes to Uncle Sam. Jim Cipriotti at the Retire Ready Financial Group can help. His tax mapping process can help forecast what your tax bill will be in the future, and that way you can build a strategy now to potentially decrease your tax bill in retirement. In other words, more for you and less for Uncle Sam. Call today for your complimentary retirement tax mapping report, 610-894-7415. That's 610-894-7415, or find them online at retirereadyfg.com. And get Uncle Sam's greedy hands out of your retirement.
Hey, you've had enough.
With a complimentary tax mapping report from Jim Cipriotti. Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
Hey, it's Nick Kale here. Have you been thinking about upgrading your ride? Well, it's time to take advantage of the incredible deals from our friends at Piazza Nissan of Ardmore. Get 0% financing for 60 months on their most popular SUVs, the 2025 Pathfinder, Rogue, and Murano. That's 0% for 60 months on new models from the brand ranked #1 by J.D. Power for new vehicle quality amongst mainstream brands. Drive away in a new Nissan today from Piazza, located on Lancaster Pike in Ardmore, or online at piazzanissan.com.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. Available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Now back to the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
This is Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
All righty. So we are live right now, Talk Radio 1210 WPHD. I'm very, very happy. Got Frank Scales, Ian McGinnis, Serge Philly. These guys are killing it on social media right now, killing it. How inspired? I should this question. Did you start this before Charlie was assassinated?
So we started it a little bit before he was assassinated, and when that happened, it really fueled us to keep going and to double down. So since that happened, it was devastating. And we were sitting in the living room watching TV, and we were going to make videos that day. We didn't. We sat there and watched the news. And when it came out that he was no longer with us, we were heartbroken. But it put fuel in our tank. And since then we've been waking up every day, making content, and been focused on getting the message out there. So it really fueled us.
How old are you, Frank?
22.
And how about you, Ian?
I'm 20.
20.
Yep.
And is this your job now?
Yeah.
I mean, you're able to support yourselves doing this?
So we are working that out now. We have a GoFundMe page up and running, and we're going to have merch soon, but we're trying to get seed money so that we can build an organization, and then it'll be our jobs. But right now we're all in. So
Good.
We think it's going to work out, and we got some donations. People were kind enough to contribute. So, with just a little bit more, we're going to be able to set up an organization and really, build a machine out in Philadelphia to get the conservative point of view out there.
SergePhilly.com if people want to help you.
Yeah,
Is
so
that the
you
site?
can go SergePhilly.com, on Instagram, Serge Philly, TikTok, Facebook, X, Serge Philly. And in our bio, there's a link to our GoFundMe. So people can find it that way, or they can go to the website at SergePhilly.com.
I mean, if you're getting millions of views, you got to probably be able to monetize that, I would think, right?
So it's tough to monetize that. We haven't monetized it on Instagram yet. TikTok, there's no way that we're going to be able to monetize it. They're too biased. Right now, that's why we need an American buyer of TikTok to come in, and I think President Trump is working real hard to make that happen. But on Facebook, we are actually able to monetize, and that's helping us out a lot.
Good. Now, that's really important. So then let's direct people to the Facebook page.
Yes.
Since that's where you can make some money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Frank.Scales on Facebook.
Frank
Or Serge
Scales,
Philly.
Or
Yeah.
Serge Philly.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, excellent. So the president puts out this meme where he's in a fighter jet, and you've got Danger Zone by Kenny Loggins playing. Kenny Loggins is not happy about this. I didn't even know he was still. I'm glad he's still alive. 'Cause I love his. But I have
certainly not relevant.
Right, exactly. He's not been relevant, but it's a great song. And he dumps poo on all these people who are protesting at the No Kings rally, including Harry Sisson.
Oh my gosh, Harry Sissy, we call him.
Sissy, yeah. Who is this guy for people that don't know?
Well, he's a clown. He's the TikTok clown, and TikTok is only really sanctioning liberals and leftists. Not liberals. They're sanctioning leftists. And it's because they enforce DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion in their community guidelines. So we made a live, and we said there are two genders. And that's the truth. There are only two genders, male and female. And we got shadow banned for a week for saying that. But people like Harry go on there, and they get amplified, and they find a young crowd, and they have some success. And they essentially have lives where they have debates. They don't do debates in real person like us. But they have debates, and they really debate this honestly. We would actually love to debate Harry. So if he's listening, if this gets to him, we would love to debate him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's not listening, but guys like him don't like.
He likes a little more, leftist program.
He's probably listening to NPR right now.
Oh yeah. State-funded media.
God, the other day, my wife and I were going to Philly. I was emceeing the Patriot Fund Gala at the Union League, and we were in an Uber on the way to Philly, and the driver had an NPR, and it is so boring. I mean, my God, I don't know how anybody listens to that.
Yeah.
You know how biased, obviously, but it's just freaking boring. Like,
Not
be
only
biased
boring,
and entertaining.
But yeah, it's state-funded media. You know, I mean, it's as authoritarian as you can get, and the people who are trying to get rid of this state-funded media are Republicans, President Trump, people in the Congress, and we're getting called fascists, and I don't see how that really adds up because we're not for state-funded media.
No,
and
fascists are for state-funded
exactly.
media.
They could have their boring, whatever they just don't make it be state funded.
There are plenty of moms out there in Subarus who will pay the monthly VIG
exactly.
to get their mug.
There's no reason for it to be.
I'm the resistance mug and give them money if they're
no reason
if they're
for
good, they'll
state funding.
survive. Look, I mean, we rely on our advertisers who are awesome advertisers, and we hope everybody supports them. We don't get government money here. I've got to be entertaining or I won't be on the air.
Yeah, and I mean, it's the free market, right? I mean, everybody should, get a shot to, say what they want to say, but for it to be state funded is, it's not in our values.
And that monotone, like everything's like, well, tonight President Trump, but that's every single segment.
Yeah.
That monotone, oh, God, I wanted to jump out of the Uber.
Yeah, and you look at something like Serge Philly. We're two guys and a phone, and we were able to have so much success because what we do is entertaining, and people want to see it, and it's real and authentic. So, we're not getting state money. We're just working hard. We're waking up every day and putting everything we have into Serge Philly, and we're making content that people want to see, and it works. So I don't know why we need to fund media organizations through the government unless there's foul play.
You don't ever. I mean,
exactly.
And you don't want that. You should never want that. All right, but here is let's cue Cut 22. So DNC propagandist Harry Sissy went on Don Lemon and was holding back fake tears because he recounted the trauma of getting virtually poop bombed by President Trump. So in your mind, as you hear this, just hear Danger Zone in the back of your mind. We can't play it on the air; it's a copyright violation. But Cut 22.
Yeah, I think this is actually bigger than me. I know that this video was attacking me. But there were also millions of Americans that were also displayed in that video, also getting attacked by the president of the United States. So he's attacking me in a petty, gross, disgusting way. But I think the more concerning story here is that, I think this is his genuine feelings toward peaceful protest, that if he could, he would attack in some way, shape, or form the people who dissent. So I don't think that this is it's just about me or like the gross attack. I think this is a broader, more concerning story surrounding the Trump admin.
I mean, couldn't he theoretically, if he wanted to, attack them? I mean, according to them, because he's a fascist, right?
I mean,
so he could just bomb them and kill them because that's what fascists do.
Right? I mean, the fact that there's these ginormous protests all across the nation opposing President Trump and they're able to continue shows you that we don't have any kings.
Right.
We don't.
And that he's not a fascist.
Exactly.
He puts out a social media meme. You think it's funny. You think it's beneath the office. You can think it has no dignity, but it's not killing anybody.
Well, Harry's ego is too massive to understand that. President Trump dealt a big blow to Harry's ego, and now he's got a black eye. It's the ego.
I would have loved it if Biden dumped poo on me from a plane.
At least it would have been funny.
Yeah, it would have been funny. I mean, Harry should be happy he got all this attention, but
really,
well, Harry, like a lot of leftists, are snowflakes, and they don't know how to take a joke.
True,
and that is, it's so rampant on the left and in the Democratic Party. They don't know how to take jokes. They have no senses of humors. Everybody knows that it's a meme on the internet. It's not real life,
and it's not. And it's an AI meme.
He's still allowed to go out and say things and disagree with that meme on the internet. So who's stopping him from speaking? Nobody.
No, you see now, Frank, I think you're wrong. First it's a poop bomb, then it's a bomb. The poop bomb is a gateway bomb. Don't you know
the virtual
that?
poop bomb.
Right.
The virtual poop bomb.
It begins with a virtual poop bomb, then you're bombing people.
That is a lot of that's a lot of the train of thoughts that these leftists have, and I can't see how, thoughts like that can actually, exist in somebody's brain, but the left never ceases to amaze me. That's all I can say.
So CNN made Hakeem Jeffries watch the Harry Sisson poop dumping by President Trump, and then asked him for his live reaction. I mean, it's like CNN is dying, but even they know this is really good for their ratings.
Yeah.
So they didn't, because they could have ignored it. The media, they could have ignored it if they wanted to.
Yeah.
They didn't. They decided, let's do a segment on it.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you right there? Cut 23. 23. Oh, hang on. We're queuing it up. I should also mention, as we're doing this, that is the big story of the hour, brought to you by Dr. Mike Veneria. Veneria Dental, it is not about cost. It's about care and commitment to dental excellence. Schedule your appointment with Dr. Mike today. Get a level of care that you deserve. VeneriaDental.com. Do you have it?
I'm trying to find it. I'll play it when I got it.
Okay, 23. I don't know if it's on there or not. Well, anyway, for me, look, there are some people that don't like that Trump does this stuff, but it's Trump, and you're not going to change him at this point. But I think the key is that no one died.
Yeah. I would say that's
no one was arrested.
Right? Yeah.
No one was put in internment camps.
There you go. And obviously, the left is the cognitive dissonance on the left is insane. Like, you have a democratically elected candidate who also won the popular vote doing things he said he would do while he was campaigning, and then he got elected democratically to do, and now it's fascism.
And don't you think, too, that, he's mocking them protesting no kings because he's not a king. And that's the part of this that really annoys me, is that he's not a king, and yet they're out there saying this stuff. They're the ones making the parody of all this.
Yeah, like we celebrate...
they're creating the parody.
We celebrate No King's Day every July 4th, right? We fought a whole revolutionary war against kings. So to say that our democratically elected president is a king or represents that school of thought of monarchy is... the I
jokes
can't defend
write
it.
themselves. The jokes write themselves. The Democrats, they're clowns, and the Republican Party, President Trump, they're the people who are protecting our freedoms, our freedom to speak our minds. That's a Republican issue. That's something that that President Trump came in office and signed an executive order to protect our First Amendment rights. So, I think they really have to look in the mirror. Everything is superficial about the Democrats. Everything they pretend to stand for, they're actually against. They just put out a weird, superficial, virtue signaling stand for freedom of speech and everything else. But really, deep down, they don't believe in any of that. They only believe in freedom to speak what they believe to be true.
What's worse, a president putting out a joking meme or an entire administration covering up the fact that the president had dementia and should not have been doing the job and should have been removed by the 25th Amendment of the Constitution? Because for me, it's far worse to think of the cover-up of Joe Biden's cognitive decline and how our nation could have been at risk because this guy didn't know what freaking day it was and was talking to invisible paratroopers.
Yeah.
That, to me, that's a whole lot worse than a president putting out a joking meme on social media.
Well, Biden wasn't even running the country. They had an auto pen that was signing every different order.
Yeah,
and bill.
And I don't want to be disrespectful to the office of the auto pen because that's a very, you got to revere that office.
Oh yeah.
You said you have it? Okay, go ahead, take a listen.
Which showed him with a crown, flying in a plane, bombing the No Kings protesters with piles of waste. It's a family program. I'll use that word. House Speaker Mike Johnson says that it's just Trump using social media and satire. Satire is the word that he used to make a point. How do you see it?
Well, that video is deeply unserious, deeply unpresidential, and deeply un-American. But unfortunately, it's the type of erratic, extreme behavior that the American people have continued to see from this president and from this administration from the very beginning. And of course, it's no surprise to us that House Republicans continue to behave as nothing more than reckless rubber stamps for Donald Trump's extreme agenda that's hurting the American people, and of course, for his extreme behavior that they continue to whitewash.
Hakeem, man.
You can call him unserious, un-American, anything you want, and I'll be happy to still call him my president. So
absolutely.
It's going to be a good 3 years.
I mean, is it the fact that he was wearing a crown kind of a tell that it was an over-the-top joke?
Yeah, and again, I think Hakeem's a little, upset because Trump memed him too, not too long ago. Him and Schumer, with the sombreros. Yeah. So I think Hakeem's got a little heartstrung getting plucked there. But
the Democrats are not good at fighting back.
Oh no. Yeah, the best they can do is give a script to 10 content creators and people like AOC and Jasmine Crockett and have them put out the exact same vitriol and drivel that they put on their social media
Or Gavin
accounts.
Newsom will do a bad Trump impression.
Yeah,
with
you
his,
couldn't get more on the nose than Gavin
his
Newsom.
beta soy boys in the governor's office
Yeah.
who put out the tweets that are trying to sound like Trump.
Yeah,
and it's just
the full cap signing it, and
Yeah.
it's a total copycat.
The only response they have to President Trump is to act like President Trump, and that tells you everything you need to know.
Well, I mean, look at when Trump was campaigning. He said no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. What did Kamala do? Oh, I'll do the same. You know, so it seems like everything. It's either oppose Trump or when Trump does something good, it's let's do what Trump's doing. That's their platform.
Yeah, well said, guys. Well said. Well, listen, I wish you the best of luck. Continued success. Serge Philly.
Yes, sir.
Follow them on all social media accounts. Help these guys out. They're going to be huge. I'd love to say we got it on the ground floor because I think I did give you the first interview on the station. So Serge Philly on all the social media platforms and do that today. And Frank Scales, Ian McGinnis, guys, thank you very much for coming out today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Let's do this again.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
Keep me posted on all your stuff. And
100%.
We'll do that. All right.